However simple or complex the chain of events in any given situation, when looked into it usually reveals a train of causal relationships. They are seen to be linked in some way. The methods of analysis aim to establish these relationships and provide a solid background for useful generalizations based on what at first appear to be separate events. The first step in this process is to collect facts and then see if any particular patterns emerge. If they do, it then becomes possible to form theories related to the facts, and this type of empirical theory forms a useful basis for analysis and prediction. However, on its own this theory is not enough. The essential second step is to test it by collecting more facts and by checking predictions against events. These new facts may mean you have to modify the theory, bearing in mind that new facts can only either disprove or support a theory, they cannot prove it to be right. Professor Smith, thanks for making the time to come and see me. As you know, there are a couple of things I think we need to discuss about your progress in the course. Angelina, yes, I know, I'm glad you could make the time. Professor Smith, not a problem. It's really part of my job to make sure everyone enrolled in the course is getting as much out of it as they can. If we just look at this spreadsheet, which outlines your assessment results so far, you can see that while your grades were initially fine, certainly in the average for the year group as a whole, towards the end of semester 1 they've started to drop off a bit. Angelina, yeah. Yes, I see. I must admit that I had to take a fortnight off just after mid-semester break, and I really felt that the work I missed in those 2 lab sessions have made it really hard for me to understand some of the underlying material required for the rest of the course. Professor Smith, well, thanks for being so honest, Angelina. I think we're going to have to think about putting some strategies in place, so that by the end of year assessments you're going to have a fair chance of passing. Angelina, well, yeah, thanks Professor Smith, I couldn't agree more, but I must admit I'm at the point where I don't really know where to start to get on top of this. Public pools often tested innovative design, structural and mechanical solutions to span Olympic-sized facilities with increasing nature light and roofs that could be opened and closed, alongside new techniques for waterproofing and filtration. Pools also gave the opportunity for designers to explore new relationships between interior and exterior, between water and land, between light and shade, and between visibility and privacy. So a virus is something that you can't see by normal light microscopy, you need very advanced techniques for electron microscopy to see it. But that virus is not able to reproduce itself without a host, and us as human beings are made up of lots of different cell types, and we are interested in understanding at the molecular level how that virus infects the liver, and why does it infect the liver and it doesn't infect the heart or it doesn't infect other tissues. Life in the UK 2012 provides a unique overview of well-being in the UK today. The report is the first snapshot of life in the UK to be delivered by the Measuring National Wellbeing Programme and will be updated and published annually. Well-being is discussed in terms of the economy, people, and the environment. Information such as the unemployment rate or number of crimes against the person are presented alongside data on people's thoughts and feelings, for example, satisfaction with our jobs or leisure time and fear of crime. Together, a richer picture on how society is doing is provided. This multi-million selling internet book is still the ultimate handbook for novices and experts alike. It's written in plain English, it covers everything from getting online for the first time to news feeds. This fully revised guide covers all the latest sites and crazes. Whether you've never sent an email or you just want to keep up with the latest developments, this is the book for you. To be honest, the biggest problem for most undergraduate students, in terms of academic writing, is not only adapting to a far more structured and formal style, but also learning how to ascertain the difference between important, valid information and unnecessary, or even irrelevant material. In my experience, I would say it takes students their first year, if not longer, to appreciate what is required and to start to implement those requirements in their writing. What they really should be doing, if they are struggling with written assignments, is to seek help from the excellent support services which are available at the university. The growth of the modern state brought with it the development of mass political parties and the emergence of professional politicians. A man whose occupation is the struggle for political power may go about it in two ways. First, a person who relies on their political activities to supply their main source of income is said to live off politics, while a person who engages in full-time political activities, but who doesn't receive an income from it, is said to live for politics. Now, a political system in which recruitment to positions of power is filled by those who live for politics is necessarily drawn from a property-owning elite, who are not usually entrepreneurs. However, this is not to imply that such politicians will necessarily pursue policies which are wholly biased towards the interests of the class they originate from. All around the world, significant parts of our cultural heritage are threatened by pollution, neglect, carelessness, and greed. In learning the importance of our history, we come to understand the need to protect significant remains from the past so that future generations can come to understand their heritage. What was interesting and revealing about younger and middle-aged views on old age was how relative these were to the individual's own age. Those in their teens regarded 40 as old, whereas those in their 40s thought 70 or 80 was old. For many, health was seen as a determining factor in deciding who is old, and many young participants commented on how fit and active their grandparents are, while others thought ill health and dependence were an inevitable part of aging. The majority of participants, however, regarded old age as something negative, and many expressed fear of growing